Good morning and welcome to my hobby bench. Today's video is just your standard run-of-the-mill open a box video and look at just some engine parts that I purchased from a customer of mine, Mitch. He's selling a bunch of stuff on eBay, but he let me kind of have first dibs on some stuff. And since I'm doing a lot of engine servicing, he had a lot of different engine parts. So I figured, what the heck, for 50 bucks, I'll buy a bunch of engine parts, and that's what this video is all about, is just showing me opening this box and looking inside to see what all $50 worth of parts I got and see if any of them are going to be worth using in the future for servicing engines. So if you don't care for engine open or box opening videos, just turn off the video now, because here we go. I do have to say that the box felt a little bit heavier than what I would anticipate just parts feeling like. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the box off to the side here and do this. And yes, I am fully utilizing some of my mega mount stands here for display. Wow, this has got a lot of good stuff in here. Wow, a lot of good stuff. So it looks like we've got a K&B bag, we've got a Super Tiger bag, we've got an OS bag, a Sato bag, and an Inya bag. Wow, there's a lot. Let's see, where do I start here? Let's just start with the K&B bag since it's sitting here looking at me. I don't do a whole lot of K&B engine servicing, but I figured it's part of the deal, so let's just see what we got here. So we've got a rear cover gasket for a K&B or Veco 61. That's cool. We have a control connecting rod for, I don't know, it just has a part number on it. I'm not sure what that is. Let me maybe zoom in just a hair here. Let's see, here's a Fox vent nipple. That's cool. Oh, nice. Prop nut and stud washer set. K&B 45. I'm sure this fits multiple engines, so that's cool. Another Fox vent nipple. A piston ring for, a 4011, 40 cubic inch 8011 and 4011 40 size engines. Nice. That's really cool. 40 and 7.5 gaskets, front and rear cover. So that's cool. That's very nice. So I'm liking this. Cylinder liner, K&B 40, part number 12-4001. So we got a piston and sleeve here. Very, very nice. That's a cool score. Like I said, I don't service a lot of K&B engines, but, okay, so that's a Rogue Super Tiger part that must have come out of, let's do the Super Tiger bag since it's open and there's stuff here. And now who knows, some of these items might be for sale too. I don't know. I mean, shoot me an email, let me know. New and exhaust stack gaskets. There's several in there. This looks like a head shim for, it says back plate gasket put into X40. It's a G21 46. Not really sure. It says gasket of some sort here. Again, more looks like head gaskets, G21 46. Don't know a whole lot about Super Tiger parts or what these would fit. X45 it says. So this may not be engine gasket set S61 ring. So, oh, cool. Back cover. Those rear covers have rubber gaskets. That's nice. Now that is useful, very useful. Super Tiger carburetor O-ring for GS40 to G90. That's sweet as hell. This, I don't know what this is. It's like kind of like a, looks like one of those gaskets. Rebuilt Super Tiger 61 ABC. I'm just reading some notes here on this. Looks like just some screws, a set of screws and stuff for an engine. Here's a high-speed needle for, it says 4845, or it's a 21 to 3000, so it looks like a high-speed needle for a carb, obviously. Another gasket, carburetor O-ring, more gaskets, ball bearing. Oh, that's an Enya part. I don't know how that got in here. So here's a bearing for an Enya. That's cool. I'll put that over here. And Super Tiger gasket set S40K. And then this has got some kind of strange note in there. So the Super Tiger parts are a little nebulous, so I'm not entirely confident about a lot of what those are. Not that familiar with Super Tiger things. Let's look at these Enya parts, because I just had a fellow contact me who may be sending me an Enya R120 engine to work on, so this is kind of why I was like, oof, I don't have any Enya parts on hand. Let's see what we got here. So here is 120 4-cycle. Oh, I didn't even realize how I wasn't zoomed in that much here. I apologize. Looks like a rear cover. Here's another, looks like another Enya bearing here. Not entirely sure where that would go. R120 gasket. See, so this is paying off right now. Here's a throttle arm for an Enya 19, it looks like. Cylinder block 53 4-cycle. So there's a, I'm sure that's a common bearing on the 46 also, maybe the 80 and 60 also. 155. This is a carb, looks like an O-ring of some sort. Intake pipe O-ring, it says here. Piston ring. Oh, sweet, look at that. A piston ring for, this says 53 4-cycle, maybe, or a 60 dash, or a Mark III. So that's interesting. Another gasket for R120. What is this? It's nothing. It's just some packaging sleeves. Here's some bearings and a ball bearing that has gone to shit. The bearing is completely, these are used bearings, so that's useless to me. R155 4-cycle, big bearing. Oh yeah, cool. This is one of those little clear things that they put over the carb openings on 4-cycle engines. 41, 53, probably fits a 50 or 80 and a 60 also. Another intake manifold or some sort of O-ring. I can't picture what this particular part is for on a 46 4-cycle engine. Maybe part of the carb. Another bearing. Oh, look at this, a connecting rod. Connecting rod for 120R or R120 4-cycle engine. Sweet. I think my $50 is quite well spent right now already. Another throttle arm. Feeler gauge. Piston ring for a 41 4-cycle or a 45 2. I'm not sure what this long screw would be for. Another gasket for a 60 Mark III 53 gasket. Oh, one of these extension needle, high-speed needle extensions. Those are always interesting for a 120 4-cycle. I'm sure it would fit any other Enya carb high-speed needle. 120 4-cycle piston ring. Damn. The piston rings alone, if you were to buy those by themselves through whoever sells that, would probably be $30. Needle bellows installed. There's another bearing for R120 or 155 4-cycle, probably the same size. Engine gasket for a R120. Boy, if I ever get an R120 to work on, I'm going to be set. Oh, those are like pushrod tube seals, pushrod seals for a 4-cycle. Intake manifold gasket. Another gasket. Gasket. piston ring. Wow. 46 4-cycle. I'm not identifying what that part is, those little washers. Another looks like more pushrod seals to seal at the timing box. Another broken throttle arm. And another throttle arm. So that's the Enya parts. There's a lot of, there's easily $50 worth of piston rings and connecting rod and case. There's easily $50 in there, so I think my investment of $50 for these parts so far is very well spent, and I've only gone through 3 bags and it still feels like there's more stuff in this box. So let's look at the OS parts. I was really hoping that the OS parts would be a lot bigger, but it's not. Venturi. I have no idea what that's for. Looks like 2 screws and a silicone diaphragm. I don't know what that is. Oh, look at this. Harvey, I think you just sent me one of these, and it's a nipple number 1. That probably would fit my Surpass engine right here. Carb gasket for a 20 to 40 FP. Now this is interesting because these are not OS parts. These are Sato parts, I believe. Oh no, they're, yeah. FA45S 50. So this is the parts, old parts accessory kit part of it anyway, for Sato engine. Radial mount set. Yeah, that's so useless. And what is this? A spinner nut that's really not there. So that's a little disappointing. I was really kind of hoping the OS parts would be a lot more interesting and useful than that. There's really nothing there for me. This looks like a little box. It's got, or bag. It's got some Sato stuff in here. It's miscellaneous things. So we got some tools here, which who can't use tools all the time? Always. What was this? This looks like it used to be a fuel filter, but it's not all there. Some kind of gasket, some kind of seals, some kind of something, some kind of huge connecting rod, which I have no idea. There's something written on here, but I've never seen an engine, I've never disassembled an engine that had a connecting rod that big. So here is a piston ring for something, for a large engine, So I have no idea what that is, and I have no idea what this connecting rod goes to. All I know is that's a big ass engine. Alright, so that's the Sato stuff. Again, a little disappointed in the Sato and the OS stuff, because that's really more up my alley than these other things, but the Enya parts are cool. Excuse you. Alright, so let's see what else is in this. Well, this is interesting. So we've got a couple of pilot figures here. Mitch said he was going to throw a couple of other things in here, so it looks like there was some grandmother that was a pilot, and she got extricated from her airplane. And then here's a Williams Brothers scale pilot with goggles or visor, still new in the package. That's really kind of interesting. Did I have this thing zoomed in too far now? And here's another little pilot guy. Okay, so I think we're coming close to the end here. I think I see one other bag in this box here. Bag in the box. Box in the bag. Oh my, oh my. Holy crap. This is where all the weight was. Mitch, what did you do here? It looks like there is just a whole bunch of aluminum in here. Wow. Is this all going to the recycling yard or what? Oh boy. 61, ASP 61. Looks like piston with it's a ringed engine. There is that huge, look at it, huge. That is a freaking huge piston. That's obviously from a gas engine. I've never seen a glow engine piston this big. This looks like it's from a weed whacker or something astronomically huge. This is either a Super Tiger or an Enya head, or the dished in thing. Some kind of piston and sleeve thing. They probably don't go together. Oh, look at this. This says can be 40. This is a torpedo. Can be 40 torpedo engine case. Here's a Super Tiger 40 engine case. Connecting rod. That's an interesting looking connecting rod. Let's see what else do we have here. That's an interesting connecting rod. Front housing for something. Probably it looks like a K&B style type engine there. Look at this head. This is an interesting. Maybe I can zoom in here more. Look at the dished out, the crossflow scavenged head. Here's another big piston. This says, can you read what that says? I can't necessarily read what that says. What is this torn up? It ate bearings or something. It had a good lunch. Another front housing, rear cover, piston sleeve. I mean, this clearly looks like a Super Tiger, possibly rear cover. I mean, obviously, without knowing anything about what these things are, there's really not a whole lot for me to do with this stuff. Other than what I'm doing here, say, look, this is really interesting. Boy. Another piston, an ABC or an ABN piston that obviously can't be used for anything because it has to be matched. Here's another K&B or a Veco crankshaft. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here, and very little of it is of use, but it's all very interesting. All very interesting stuff. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Mitch, for this box of parts, many of which I will use. Much of this stuff I have no idea what I'm going to use, but do with this. But this piston is really cool. I might just set this thing. Looks like it's got a wrist pin in here too. I might just set this thing on the table just because it's kind of cool to look at and see if there was a big ass ring. I thought there was a ring here. I don't know if the ring would go on this or not. Where did I see that big ring? Anyway, one of these parts things I saw a big ring, and I don't know if it would go on this or not. Probably not, but anyway, that's our open box parts engine stuff video for today. Thank you all for watching.